What's going on, guys? This is Tybone Skyberg here. Today we're taking a look at another Star Wars review with Toy Review. Today we're taking a look at the one of my favorite another Star Wars figure is Princess Leia from the original trilogy from the Star Wars the 40th anniversary from the Black series of Star Wars. Was made by Hasbro, and Disney was Hasbro, and then of course Disney as well. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, look at this as this figure, Princess Leia himself. Now, before I started reviewing with this action figure, let's take a look at the package itself from you guessed it. Alright, and of course you got them on the front and at the back, and I really love this redesign from the retelling package from the Kenner toy line. And of course Hasbro Disney wanted the idea to make from the repackage from the back in the day. And of course you got the original trilogies action figures. You have all these characters as we know, and I do a review already with C-3PO, but I don't have an R2-D2, but I don't have the rest of them, but I'll do that sometimes in future. And Darth Vader, basically, I want to do a review of this sometimes. Alright, you got them on the front and the front and the back, and you have all the I mentioned before, yes. And of course, it's not much left or right, and then the top and the bottom is the same deal from the back in the day. I love this redesign the back in the day we used to. Alright, so now before I get started this my new review of Star Wars figure, and I know it's been a while, like a year and a half. My favorite actress of all time, Carrie Fisher, is known as Princess Leia from the original trilogy, and of course there's the sequel trilogy from the Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. And of course the original trilogy at first, A New Hope, The Empire Strikes Back, and The Return of the Jedi at first. Before the sequel trilogy, it's only two. So except Episode 9, Carrie Fisher she's in rest of peace, unfortunately. So I do wish to meet her at the conventions, but she has rest in peace. She had a massive heart attack or something like that. I found out like a year and a half before or after Christmas. It was shocking news in 2016, I think. Yes, that's. And after what was release, Rogue One, and they do, and I looked at the design looks like her, or she was younger, Carrie Fisher. So yeah, that's unfortunately. Carrie Fisher, thank you so much for being. This is my favorite character, Princess Leia. This design, I prefer. This one was better from the Empire Strikes Back and the Return of the Jedi. For example, Empire Strikes Back, it was a different design from the Hoth battle in the Cloud City, for example. The different design. I can't remember if I seen this figure or not. But the Return of the Jedi, I do remember is the battle in the indoor suit. And of course, the one is a different about the Hound design. I can't remember exactly. And of course, Jabba the Hutt, Leia's slave from Jabba the Hutt. But they do exist. But I do prefer this one, the figure right here. So I got this figure right here, like $16. It was on sale. I just bought it from Best Buy. And so, yeah, that's not much it has to say about this. So, before I start into the figure itself, let's take a look. It has she has some accessories. Let's take a look at the weapons. Now, this weapon here, it comes from the New Hope weapon. It looks like if I pick them up the camera, a little bit, some of the details. Well, anyway, but I'm trying to figure out the focus on the camera, and you can see it through it. This is a weapon, comes from A New Hope, and I do like this design very well, but it's still a little bit thinking or whatever, not too stark. And there's another one that's from the last one that I think it's a stormtrooper weapon. It looks very good, but it's something missing paint joints or whatever. So the weapon, but it doesn't matter. That's comes from A New Hope. And of course, when she has attached to it, but the only problem is that this is hands to it. So I'm trying to figure it out, but I did. Once I attached to it, it's that her hands. And I know this clothes, it's designed as cloth, so I can tell if you want to attach the weapon, you can. Let me see if I tried. That makes no sense because it's too small hands. So let me try to figure it out. This attached to it. Oh, there you go. Almost there. Yes, there you go. Yeah, you can see attached to it the weapon, and it's not that hard, but this one's different. I want to talk about later on. Yeah, it fits well. It fits well with this weapon, just like the original trilogy, the A New Hope. And then, of course, there's not much else to say. Now, this is tough one. The Stormtrooper weapon? I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe do attach to it? It's not that bad, but you can see it's from the. You can see it's not that point right there. You can point on the camera right there. It's not that bad, but it still holds up. So yeah, I do remember the part on the movie. It's a fun movie for the original trilogy. So anyway, enough of the weapons. Let's take a look at the figure himself, Princess Leia, Carrie Fisher. Rest in peace, Princess Leia, and may the Force be with you. So anyway, so thank you for this. All right, let's take a look at the package itself, the figure itself. Sorry, my bad. All right, so you're gonna look at the figure itself. It still looks like Carrie Fisher to me, just like the package. So I never bother it. There's the regular package that I mentioned it before, but it comes to her face looks like a fatter, and I found out some other reviews they did. Like at the regular package before this one, the 40th anniversary. This one's like, God, this is better. This one's much better than when I picked them up at Best Buy. So, and of course, her face looks like Carrie Fisher to me. And of course, you have a looks. I do prefer this one right here. It's a little bit okay. It looks like almost she was kind of younger. She looks like Carrie Fisher to me, where she was in behind the scenes. It looks better in face sculpt. I to prefer to this one. So if you want a cloth clothes, and you can see different design cloth clothes, the white ones, yeah, you can tell it's from they had some articulation. So I'll talk about that later on. If you want it's like a hoodie, you can cover up like that or some reason, and I don't know why, because it's too big. And of course, you got this one right here, or if you want to go a little bit further, it's like a mystery. When you saw it on the movie, it looks like, yeah, this cloth here a little bit, it's not too bad, but I've been addition a little bit like a material with the lines on it, when the custom, that would be better. Or unfortunately, they try to use the best. So anyway, this is Carrie Fisher, action figure, Princess Leia from A New Hope, and this is a 40th anniversary. And then I do prefer, you can see the rest is fine. And then you can see in the front, and then of course you're going to see it behind them, and then of course it's still there. And you can, okay, so you can see articulation. Well, let me see. When I found out the documentary, it says there is no underwear in space, and I go, really? No underwear in space? On the behind the scenes? Are you kidding me? They do have, for example, but I won't. But you can see a little bit. You can see white underwear, for example. But you can see right here. Yeah, you can tell it's there. No offense, but it's true. But it's still there, and it's not much, because it's covered up some kind of the belt right there. So that's so unfortunate. And of course, unfortunately. And you can see articulation a little bit. Did I miss a turn or not? Because it's still there. You can see the knee joint right there. Let me see about the boots. I like the white boots, and I never seen it until on a movie. And I can see there's a little bit white white little scratch a little bit right there. So far, but it's all not a big deal. But don't scratch them up. The paint white joints. Now, as far as an articulation, so let's find out. So you got left or right, and it goes. You got a 360, which is kind of good, and she goes a little bit. She goes down, and then she goes up. Oh, we up. Okay, it looks very good. I thought it was not too up recently. It looks way up. Looks very good. And no pipet, no neck pipet. That's not so, unfortunately. And the shoulder joint. Let's see what happens. And I try to figure it out. And I go, what the hell? Okay, there you go. Because it's you can see this bothers me is the Klopp's clothes, like the costume from the movie. Let me see if it's the shoulder joint. You can still right there, and then you gotta figure it out which one is this. This is a shoulder joint right here. I'm gonna put it back on because it's bothers me a little bit. It's not too bad recently. So this one's here. Same thing. Oh, did I mention I found out the ab crunch? They have ab crunch. The abs moves like this, but unfortunately, because it's got a little, you can see there's a little bit of wires right there. Maybe it's a material or whatever, so that you can. So it's not a big deal. But if I seen them, but not like that. So anyway, does she have a leg joint? Let's find out. She has a kick forward. She has a kick forward and not much kick back. Not much kick back, and it's not much has to say. And I want to cover up so that. Oh yeah, and of course you got the knee joint or the knee joint. Did I mention the knee joint? Yeah, it does. It has a knee joint right there. Yeah, and as far as I can tell. And of course, you got a knee joint and then up and down like this. And of course, you got ankle pivot. You got an ankle pivot. So thank you, Hasbro, for like this. Very well. So, yay. Okay, so finally ankle pivot. So my final thoughts from the Princess Leia action figure. It's a 6-inch figures, but it's almost too close. Yeah, like I said. So, but the design right here, it looks pretty good. I really love that this figure design was better than others Leia's versions of the one of the others trilogies. But I do pick them up this one because it was my favorite this figure of time because I do prefer this one right here. And there's not much it has to say. I do prefer this one was better. So I really love the face sculpt. It was much better than the other ones originally because her face is kind of fatter. But this one here is a 40th anniversary. This one is better, just like at the package. It was too close a little bit on that, just like the movie. And so there's not much it has to say about this. So my final ratings, I give it a 10 out of 10. I don't care. So yeah, 10 out of 10. Same thing. Not much it has to say about this. I really love this figure, Princess Leia. So yeah, sadly, Carrie Fisher, I gotta miss her. And rest in peace, and may the force be with you. Thank you for everything I saw this movies, and I don't know what it has to say, sadly. So, but I do pick them up, and I'm still thinking about it, and I'll do sometimes a Blu-rays movies and something like that, and sometimes the future with the Star Wars movies. But at the TV show, it's okay, but I do prefer the movies trilogy, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. So. But I really love this figure, so it reminds me of the memories forever. I do watch the original trilogy and before the special editions, but I hope and I will release all these things as possible. So, but I do pick them up, these figures. So I'll do sometimes the next Star Wars tour review as possible. So anyway, don't forget, click like, comments below. Don't forget subscribe, and don't forget the icon bell, notifications in case you missed it. Go watch my new toy review right here. Was after I did the C3PO. Yes, and there's not much it has to say. So this is Type on Skyberg, and I'll see you around, guys, and happy toy hunting, and take care.